Yo, yo, yo. It's D.Arthur in the building. I'm talking to you guys today about how semen retention will make you more of a conversationalist so you can win over any woman that you really want. Because being a good conversationalist, knowing how to have a really intriguing conversation, makes you a lot more attractive to women. And you can become who they want you to be, or you can become who you are, the best you possible, so they're more attracted to you while you're on semen retention. Now, the point is this, like, for a conversation, whatever she starts feeling when you have, let's say, a conversation with her, that's gonna be the indication of whether you're gonna keep her around, she's gonna be attracted to you or not. Being a good conversationalist is literally one of the number one keys to attraction, because a lot of guys are very logical beings. They think that attraction is logical, and if I have this and that, and if I look like this, then she's gonna be attracted to me. And on the surface, that's what it may seem like, but deep down, it really comes down to how you make her, how she feels around you when you're with her, when you're talking to her, when you're having a conversation with her. And being a conversationalist is the best thing that you can do for yourself if you want to attract really good quality woman. There's this bio that I saw, and it said on this woman's bio, and it said a good conversationalist is the key to a woman's heart. So this is a skill that you can learn, and if you can do it properly, like, you can really have any choosing woman that you really want. Now, how do you become, let's say, a good conversationalist? Well, you have to have a conversation that you both can connect on, that you both can connect on really, really well. It can be anything. So, I mean, the thing that you might have to start is you start talking to her, then you start asking her questions, and then once you start asking her questions, you find something that you both have in common, and then you start talking to her about it. And then you relate that something to something that maybe happened to you, like maybe in the past, or you relate something that makes it more of a core, makes it more of a personal type of thing. And if you can put emotion in this works. So once you do that, now the energy field has kind of twisted. It came from a light rapport to just like, hey, how are you doing, to more of a deep rapport. So now it's a little bit more personal for both of you, and then she starts talking about something that relates to that, and then it's a back and forth type of thing. And what you're really trying to do when you're doing this is you're trying to connect with her emotionally. You're trying to connect with her on a deep psychological level. And the man who's the most interesting in her eyes is probably the man who's going to be kept around the most. She's going to be attracted to her the most. So you have that deep conversation, that deep rapport, that you guys connect on something, and then you start talking to her, and then after a little bit, once the conversation seems like it's very, very good, and it's very, let's say, it's on its way to a really good conversation, you stop talking about it, and then you start talking, and then you start becoming a little bit more logical. You just bring up something different. You bring something up that's different than what you were deeply connecting on. And what happens when happens is there's going to be an emotional bond that you can subconsciously create with her. And then once you have this emotional bond with her, you keep doing this repetitive thing where you keep connect on a deep level about something, maybe something you relate something back to your childhood, or you relate something that she really cares a lot about. You start creating that deep rapport, and then you stop talking about it, and then you talk about something totally different. And then you keep doing this, and the more you can do this, and the more she can really be intrigued by you, by the words you're saying, and how you, let's say, carry yourself, then the more she's going to be attracted to you regardless. But the thing is, you have to have some sort of time. If you just met her, well, maybe it was like a cold approach or something, you just recently met her, then you might have to buy yourself some time in order to get all of those deeper emotions transmutated to her, so you guys can have you guys can reciprocate that good feeling. Now, when you're on semen retention, this is a lot easier to do for some reason. This makes it a lot easier to do. It makes it a lot easier for you to connect with a deeper level. And the reason this is because if you've been retaining for a little bit of a while, what's going to happen is that since you're retaining, your body is taking information. It keeps taking information about how this man can get a little bit more attractive. And there's going to be, let's say, an inner genius in you that starts to really manifest itself in your life. You start realize this is backed by semen retention meditation, taking, let's say, discipline yourself to maybe taking a cold shower, and let's say reading inspiration and like insight. What's gonna happen is your inner genius will start coming out, and you'll just find this. You'll start finding it a lot easier to interact with other people. You start getting a know for what they have. This thing is called emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is literally one of the number one factors to attracting anybody. Maybe if you work in sales, maybe you work in customer service or something. Emotional intelligence is literally the number one skill that you need to have in order to get people to do what you want. There's a lot of people who are not emotionally intelligent. Emotional intelligence is basically reading somebody's body language and the energy they're carrying behind their words, and then adjusting yourself and mirroring yourself to them so they're comfortable in the interaction, so you can get them to do what they want. Maybe if you want someone to do a favor for you, and the thing is, you say things like, can you help me with this, or I need help, I need you to do something because it'll help me in something. This makes it a lot easier for you, for people to get people to do what you want them to do. So I mean, yeah, once you're on semen retention, your emotional intelligence has skyrocketed, because now instead of taking information from your carnal desires, you're taking insight from a higher perspective. So you're taking insight from an all-knowing sort of substance. People like to refer to as the Most High. You're taking insight from someone who has your life in a broader and a higher perspective, and an inspired perspective. And it's going to make you do things a little bit more differently. And the thing is, the way to receive these sort of messages and this inspiration is through your intuition. Whatever nudges you're feeling, those are the type of things that you have to take action on. It's called inspired action. So when you're on semen retention, all of this starts coming to you, and you're going to have a lot more quality interactions. People are going to like you because you're giving out really good, positive energy, and people will reciprocate that energy if they want to. And if you're trying to talk to a woman and get it to actually go somewhere, you create some deep rapport. You might even create some sexual tension, so she gets excited every time you appear in her life. That's the whole point. You can't treat her like just another logical person. There has to be some sort of spike of emotion that she gets from you every time you appear in her life. Maybe it's every time you text her. And to help you do this, you have to be a little bit more spontaneous. You can't always be available. And every time you talk to her and you're actually interacting with her, there's positive, good emotions, and everything that you're saying actually has some deeper meaning to it. and you can just become very more knowing, more insightful, and have very good energy when you're on retention and when you meditate, because you're now, instead of taking insight from man and what another man should be doing, you're taking insight, you're taking desire, you're taking intuition and inspiration from the Most High. You're receiving the Most High inspiration in yourself, and that's gonna carry out onto the next things that you should be doing to get what you really want to acquire in your life, to get people to do what you want them to do. So so semen retention helps you become more of a conversationalist, makes you more attractive to women, helps you receive insight and things that you really want to do. So you're not always you're not always in a negative mood. You're not always in a in a in a in a mood where you're always defeated, but you're actually more in a purposeful set mood, and you're just very okay with yourself. So like, comment, and subscribe below, and we will see you in the next video. Peace.